This video is about creating a guest traveller profile in Concur. There are 4 main steps. Firstly, ensure you have access to create the guest profile. Secondly, the traveller is to complete the UWA Guest Profile form. You then create the travel profile in Concur and then assign the travel arranger to the traveller, to the guest. So the first step, ensure you have access to create a guest profile. If you don't have access, you need to log a query with Ask UWA requesting access to create a guest traveller profile. Secondly, the traveller is to complete the UWA Guest Profile form. You can send that to them at any time, and it's located at this particular address. It's also available in the LMS modules. The third step is to actually create the guest traveller profile, and that's what I'm going to now show you step by step. So from the main page in Concur, go to Administration and then Company Admin. Then click on the Add User. Ensure that you untick the Expense User box and tick on Request User. Next, we enter the CTE login name. So to enter the email address, in this particular case for James Norton, you would enter james.norton_guest in capital letters at uwa.edu.au. Remembering this is not an actual email address, but it is required in order to create a profile for the guest. Next, enter a password, and the password here must be in capitals UWA Guest, all one word. And then verify the password again. UWA Guest is the password in capitals. The title, just select from the drop-down list, Mr., Mrs., Ms. or Miss, first name and the last name. So in this instance, it's James Norton. Activation date, just accept it as the date that comes up, which is usually the date that you're actually creating it. The employee ID needs to be in capitals UWA Guest _ and then the surname. So in this case, it's Norton. UWA Guest _ Norton. You then enter the guest's actual email address, and this email address will be used by the travel agent to communicate with the guest. So this is an actual email address for the guest. You won't be able to enter a phone number or address at this point here, but you can once the profile is created. Scroll down to the bottom and check that the employee group is Guest UWA. The country of residence, select that. In this case, it's Australia. The reimbursement currency, select that. In this case, it's Australian dollars. The business unit, be sure to select code and then type in the number of the business unit and select. The employee to emulate is the person whose approval workflow you wish to copy. So this could be the person who's actually requested the traveller, the guest. And then click on Save. If you do get this error message here, you can just click OK and continue. You may not get that error message. So that's the creation of the profile. We're now going to assign an arranger to the traveller. So to do that, click on Administration, Company Admin, and User Administration. Search for the guest through the search text box. Enter their surname. So in this case it's Norton, and then search by last name and then click on search. You should then have the person come up in the list, and you can check that the details are the same as what you've just entered. So click on the name of the guest and the hyperlink, and we're now going to add an arranger to the traveller. So click on Request Delegates down the bottom of the screen, click on Add, search by employee ID or surname. So in this case the surname is William. So this is the name of the arranger. Make sure you tick all the boxes and make sure to save once you've finished. So click on Save and click on Save at the end as well. Click on Request Preferences, untick the status of a request and untick a request is submitted for approval. Click on Save. Close the window. So as the arranger, click on Profile, click on the drop-down menu and click on the guest. Click on Start Session. The first thing we need to do is ensure that the profile is correct. So from the profile settings, check the details are correct and complete, and you would check these against the UWA Guest Traveller Profile form. So just scroll down, complete all the details as required, and then click on Save. Once the details are complete for the profile, you can then commence a request for the traveller. So start a request and complete the information as required. When you're finished, you can select Done Acting for Others, and this completes the video for Guest Traveller Profile.